Here's a clear, structured overview of Peru's history, weaving together culture, politics, and economy across time. Ancient Peru c. 3000 BC minus 1532 Culture Peru is one of the world's cradles of civilization. Long before the Incas, advanced cultures flourished. Carol, one of the oldest civilizations in the Americas, Chavin, Mocha, Nazca, Wari, Tiwanaku achievements, irrigation systems, monumental architecture, ceramics, textiles, astronomy. The Inca Empire Tawantinsuyo was the peak. Capital, Cusco. Language, Quechua. Religion centered on Inti Sun God. Strong social organization based on reciprocity. Any politics. Highly centralized empire ruled by the Sapa Inca. No written language, but Quipus used for record-keeping. Provinces governed by loyal administrators. Economy, state-controlled economy. Agriculture with terraces and eaves. Maize, potatoes. Quinoa, a redistribution system. The state stored food 4 times of need. No money. Labor tax. Mida, instead Spanish conquest and colonial period 153 to 181. Culture, Spanish conquest led by Francisco Pizarro. Indigenous traditions mixed with Spanish and Catholic influences gives mestizo culture. Catholicism imposed, but Andean beliefs survived through syncretism. Politics. Peru became the viceroyalty of Peru. Ruled from Lima. Power held by Spanish elites. Peninsulares. Indigenous people had few rights and were heavily controlled. Economy based on mining, especially silver. Potosi. Indigenous labor exploited through the Mida system. Wealth flowed mainly to Spain. Not local development. And early republic. 1821. Late 1800s. Culture, independence declared in 1821 by José de San Martin. Culture and society. Religion centered on nature gods, especially Inti Sun God. Strong emphasis on community. Elu. Art, textiles, and architecture symbolized power and cosmic order. Quipus were used for accounting and administration. Weaknesses. Succession crises. Civil war between Atahualpa and Huáscar. Conquered peoples sometimes resented Inca rule. These weaknesses made Spanish conquest easier. Spanish colonial rule 1532 to 1821. Political control. After the conquest, Spain imposed a colonial hierarchy. Peru became the center of the Viceroyalty of Peru. The Viceroyalty ruled in the name of the Spanish Crown. Society was rigidly stratified. Peninsulares, Spain-born Creoles, American-born Spaniards, mestizos, indigenous peoples, and enslaved Africans. Indigenous political structures were allowed only if they served colonial interests. Economic exploitation. The colonial economy was extractive and export-oriented. Silver mining was the backbone, especially Potosi. Indigenous labor forced through. Mida, adapted from Inca system but far harsher, and Encomienda system. Wealth flowed to Spain. Local development. Stagnated. Peru became rich on paper but poor in social investment. Cultural transformation. Catholicism imposed. Indigenous religions suppressed. However, religious syncretism emerged. Andean beliefs blended with Catholic rituals. Spanish language and customs spread, but Quechua survived. Education reserved mainly for elites. The Inca civilization, c. 1400 to 1532. Political organization. The Inca state was one of the most centralized governments in pre-modern history. The ruler, the Sapa Inca, was considered divine. The empire was divided into 4 regions, Sayas, all connected by an advanced road system, Capacone. Local leaders, Curacas, governed communities but answered directly to the Inca state. Laws were strict and simple. Ama Swa, Ama Lula, Ama Quella. Do not steal, do not lie, do not be lazy. This tight control allowed the Incas to rule a huge territory without money, markets, or writing. Economic system. The Inca economy was based on collective labor, not trade. Mita, citizens gave labor to the state. Farming, roads, temples, army, agricultural innovation, terrace farming, Andes irrigation canals, domesticated crops, potatoes, Maize and animals, llamas, alpacas, state warehouses, kulkas stored food and goods for famines or wars. The economy prioritized stability and survival, not wealth accumulation. Long-term effects: deep racial and economic inequality, centralized authority in Lima, weak political participation for the majority. These colonial structures shaped Peru long after independence. Modern politics in Peru, 20th century. Present political instability. Modern Peru has struggled to build stable democracy. Repeated cycles of democratic governments, military coups, authoritarian rule, weak political parties, and personalist leadership. Periods: military reform era 1968 to 1975. Led by Juan Velasco Alvarado. Goals: break elite power, redistribute land, nationalize oil, mining, and key industries. Results: social inclusion, improved economic inefficiency, increased internal conflict. 1980s-1990s guerrilla group Shining Paths and Darrell Luminoso sought Maoist revolution. Here's a clear, structured overview of Peru's history, weaving together culture, politics, and economy across time. 1. Ancient Peru c. 3000 BCE minus 1532. Culture. Peru is one of the world's cradles of civilization. Long before the Incas, advanced cultures flourished. Carol, one of the oldest civilizations in the Americas: Chavin, Mocha, Nazca, Wari, Tiwanaku achievements, irrigation systems, monumental architecture, ceramics, textiles.